All right, class, I'm back, and I'd like to extend the video from yesterday and talk about how you could use these tiles, because it may seem underwhelming. We really didn't do a lot, to be honest. We created this tile object, didn't really have a lot going on. Really, you have a constructor. There are these fields, they have a color, a dimension, and a direction. They're going to hold on to a direction. We actually haven't set the direction yet when we created the tile. So, interesting. We're kind of default setting everything to white. So, yeah. And then we're figuring out a way to draw the tiles, and that's really just drawing the outline of each tile. And that's what we see when we run this at this point. We created a tile array called board. It's just a regular array, and made it size 1200 down here when we made the board, and just filled it in. So we got like a whole bunch of stuff in. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is make a snake class. And I think when I did this originally, I made a body class which extended tile, because the body was, to me, very much similar to a tile. I'm actually going to do it right now where I don't even think I'm going to extend tile. I'm just going to use tile. Maybe this is cool. Maybe this is not. I don't know. But I'm kind of thinking in the back of my mind, well, maybe I want to make multiple snakes. So maybe it's cool to have a snake object, and I can make several snake objects. So anyways, that's kind of my thinking. Although when I went down this road, I put a lot of stuff in the snake class, but I guess we'll see if there's opportunities to break things up. So all I really want my snake class to do is have one attribute, which I'm going to say is an array list of type tile. I'm going to call it the body. And how do you like that? I already imported it because I worked on this a little bit earlier. Okay, so let's make our constructor. And I'll let the constructor take the size, the initial size of the snake. Maybe that'll be a cool thing, so we can figure out what we want that to be later. Let's see. So I've got this array list body. I need to create a new. I guess I could have done that up top. All right, so there we go. Now, do I want to put objects into this body? I do. I at least want to put one object into the body, no matter what the size is. So I'm going to say body.add. Let's add a new tile object, and then this first object, the location. Let's just put it in the middle. Let's put in the middle. Alright, and something not good. Oh, what was that? G5.get. Alright. Okay, so I'm thinking I got one tile, right, on my snake right now. Let's figure out how to draw this, and I can make individual draws, or actually I do have a draw method for tile, don't I? I do have a draw method for tile, don't I? Yeah, let's think about this. But I don't have a fill method for tile, so let's take this and let's do a fill, because I actually want to fill these objects. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to call this fill. and tricky because draw and fill are both paintbrush methods, but instead of, but I'm creating similarly named methods of the tile class. Just kind of allows me to call the method a little bit more easily. Some of the work is done. So I got a fill thing going on there for the tile. And so where am I? I want to be in snake. And let's say I'm going to make a method called, do I want to draw body or just draw snake? Just draw snake. Whatever, not want to draw the whole snake. I think I'd always want to draw the whole snake. So I'm just going to say draw. And what this is going to do is it's going to iterate through the body, right, which is an array of tiles. So I can use this for each iteration for tile T in body, the array of tiles, array list of tiles. We're going to say T.drop, or not T.drop, but T.fill. And that should fill the object. What's this return? This returns nothing. Okay. All right. So let's think about this. I got a new class called snake. I have one attribute really, which is the body of the snake object, which is an array list. When we create the snake, right now we just add one tile onto the array list, and we have a method called draw. So let's come back to the game class and test how this works. So I made a snake here of size 5, right? But right now it only makes one kind of thing, right? And then in the draw, you called it draw body earlier, but we just called it draw. So how about draw? That's it. Anything else? Anything else going on? That's about it, right? Proceed. Okay. So we have this kind of one filled in snake thing. Cool. All right. But what if I really wanted to make a size 5? Size 5. Okay. So let's come back here. Let's make a size 5 snake. So I made a method called make body earlier, which, maybe it's a useful method, maybe not. Let's just go public void add body. Yeah, let's put a size in here. Yeah. We're gonna have to maybe build this and tweak this later, okay? But just for right now, I know that I'm gonna want to put them onto the right. I'm just gonna put them onto the right of the head. And so what I'm gonna say here is for int I equals 0, I is less than size, okay, I plus plus. What I need to do is I need to have a location. So let's think about the location. So I want int x to be, I want it to be an int, but I want it to be body, I want it to be the head. So body.0 get 0, that's going to be the head. And I'm going to have it get the x of the head there, and then int y equals int body dot 0, this is head dot get y. Okay, so I have these xy values to start with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go body.add. I'm going to add on to it. A new tile object. I have to give it an x, y location, right? And it's really going to be x and y, but the y, if I want to move it to the right, I'm going to say x plus, and it's really the dimension of the tile, which we can actually get. So body.get 0 .get dimension, which is an integer. So it's really 20, but if we ever wanted to change it this way, we could just change the dimension variable and everything would update, right? Okay, so so I'm taking what the x value of the head was and then moving it over the size of the thing, and then here I'd want to increment x by that same value, body.get 0 .get dimension. Okay. Oh, I forgot a little dot. Okay. Okay. Now let's think about this. If I'm going to call this thing, right, add body, how many times do I really want to add the body if the size is 5, right? If the size is 5. So if the size is 5, actually it's not body, it's add body. This dot add body. So it's add body, and it's gonna be size minus 1, right? Size minus 1. Why size minus 1? Because we already put 1 on there, right? So kind of default, we put the head on there, and then afterwards we put the rest. So that'd be one less, right? So let's see, what's that going to be like? Let's come back to the game class. I declare it was size 5, right? And then I drew it. So let's take a look at it. Keep pushing F5. And there it is. There is our snake. So that's pretty exciting, The first thing I wanted to do was I just wanted to get the snake to move over to the left. So I want to get this thing to move all the way over to the left, okay? But I kind of want, I don't know if I want to introduce the concept of like direction and pulling the direction from the tile right now. Let's do this. Let's say the default movement. Let's say the default movement is left, right? Let's look at tile too. What is direction? Direction is just an integer. Okay. So let us create a move method for the tile so we can move tiles. And it'll take an int, which is the direction. No, we'll take an int. Just read the direction, which it already knows. All right. Okay, so let's say this. If direction equals 1, okay, we will call that a, we'll say we're going to go left. So direction equals 1 is left. Left as I'm facing the screen. And let's see, dimension is 20. Let's see, what do we have? We have x, y values, I guess. Could we just say, oh, why did I put it over there like that? Okay. We could just say that this dot x plus equals, it's actually moving to the left, so it's getting smaller. So how about minus equals this dot dimension? How about that? That's left, right? And then we'll make this. Actually, can I just smash this on? So I want this to be 2. I want it to be up, and that would be a y getting smaller, right? How about I'm just gonna 4. So 3, I want to be right, and that would be x getting bigger. And 4, I want to be down, and that would be y getting bigger. Okay. How about that? How about that? All right. So that is a method to move a single tile. That's a tile move method. So let's come back here, and let's think about the how we're going to move the snake. And actually, I think we can get the magic of it kind of right in here right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set the direction of the body or the head right now. So I'm going to say body dot get 0. So I'm talking about the head, and I'm going to say set direction, and let's give it a direction of 1, so it knows it's going to go left. Okay, so right now the only thing that knows where it's going to go is the head. Right, is the head. Yeah, it gets into a little complexity. Yeah, it gets a little. How can I do this so it's not? I'm not just doing it all at once. I mean, I could just set the direction of all the of the objects with 1 right now. You know. Well, I don't know. Let's just do this. So let's go public. Move. I could call it move or just move snake or something like that. I don't know. I guess I'll move. And really, I'm just thinking about the body, and I'm saying, you know, let's iterate through this snake, which is just a bunch of tiles. Body. And we'll go t.move. Right? Yeah, this will be interesting. I think this the first one's going to move, so let's see how this goes. Or is anything going to move? I didn't call it, so nothing's going to move. All right, let's go to game, and let's say where are we going to call this? We're going to call this the update method, huh? So what's our snake called? Is it s1.move? Boom. All right. Errors. Oh man, it's gone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. By the time I saw it, it was already gone. Yeah, 60 frames per second. So less than a second, it's going to be off the screen. So that's kind of like to get that sort of staggered effect. I made a variable called count. And so let's stagger this thing 60 frames per second. So how about if count mod 15, and maybe we'll make this into a variable later. So it's like 1/4 of a second. So if count mod 15 equals 0, we'll say s1.move. We'll move every 1/4 of a second. How about that? So now we're getting that little sort of staggered effect, and just the head is moving. Just the head is moving. It's kind of what we expected, right? Okay, well that's disappointing. Well, kind of what we expected. That was kind of quick, so let's just slow it down a little bit. Maybe make it 20, maybe 25. So now we're sort of presented with this challenge of how to get the rest of the snake to sort of pick up on the direction that the head is left behind. And so to me, what that means is like when the head lands on a tile, it has to set a direction for the tile. Okay. So the question is, where are we going to do this? Where are we going to do this? And I guess it's in this game method where we can see the snake and the board together. Could I help write this? Let me try to help write this in the tile class. And so I'm going to make this a static method because it's not like an individual tile. I don't want an individual tile to necessarily be calling this. I want like the board. It's really the board that's calling this. We don't even know what the board is. Okay. So public static. There's already a set direction method. And it's going to take a tile array, which I'm going to call board, and it is the board that we're really referencing. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to iterate all the way through this board, and what am I supposed to? What am I returning? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, that's cool, right? Okay, so what am I doing? So what I'm going to do is, well, let's also say it takes tile object. Yeah. Or the specific tile object maybe is the. So actually now I'm thinking maybe I would have the head of the snake call this method, because that's a specific tile, you know, and therefore maybe not make it static, So when I say this, I'm going to be referring to the head of the snake, and so what I want the head of the snake to do is to iterate through the board. And when it finds itself on a specific tile, then I want it to set the direction. Okay, so let's do it. So let's iterate through the board. So for int I equals 0, I is less than board.length. Okay. So now what I'm looking for is if this dot x, or get x, we'll say get x, equals board index Or is it board is the board is not a, yeah, board is, I'm just getting so confused. It's snake, that's the array list. Okay. So board index 0, or not index 0, but index I dot get x, right? Okay. So the x values are the same. Are you with me? And it's throwing error message at me. Why are you doing that? Oh. All right. And what else? And how about the y values? All right, how about that? How about that? Okay, so if this happens, through the whole board, what this means is that the head is on that tile, which is on the board. And what we want to do is we want to set the direction of the tile. So how do we want to do this? It's just a lot. I mean, it doesn't need to be split apart like this, but let's go ahead and split it apart. Let's call. Interesting. Well, you know what? To be honest, yeah. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. It's board index I dot set direction. That's really all it is, right? Board index I dot set direction, which takes an integer parameter, which is going to be this dot get direction. And to be honest, we could get around using the setters and getters because we're actually in the class itself and we can actually see the fields directly. But apparently it's just better practice to use these getters and setters even if you're in the class or whatever. So what do you got? So I like this idea. And I think when I printed it out, I think I wanted to just see that this was working. And so I did something like this. I don't know where I did it, but I did something like this and just said or do I even need to do that there? Or do you want to do it here? Can we just do it here? I don't know. Can we do it like this? Let's do it like this. How about board index I dot get direction? Let's see what the direction is to begin with. I don't know if it, to be honest, I don't even know if it had the direction. Board index I. So yeah, I gotta be maybe a little careful here because I don't think I gave it like a default direction. So okay. This might get me in trouble, but I'm gonna set the direction to like 5 or something. And therefore it's like not really a valid or not dimension but direction. It's not really a valid thing. It's not going to create any movement, right? But it's just a value. Or I guess it would be, yeah, it would be. Ooh, it would be 0. Wait, is 0 a number in our movement? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. So it would actually be 0. So that actually wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, let's just try. I don't know. Let's just see what happens if this doesn't work. All right, let's try. Did I call this? I don't think I called it. What am I doing? Did I call them? What's the method called? Update direction. Update direction, right? And what is going to call update direction? It's actually in the game class here. it's going to be the snake S1. It's going to be S1 dot get 0. It's going to be the head of the snake, which calls update direction. Why is it not giving me? And we're board minute. Let's see how it goes. No? Didn't like that. Get in is oh, it's the body. It's the body. It's the body. It's the body. Ooh, it's the body. It's the body of the snake. Oh, I didn't make it private. Oh. Yeah, probably should be private, but all right. So I'm just gonna say s1.body because I can. How about that? How about that? Okay, boom, there it is. So that's the head of the snake, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And so notice that like you are getting that 5, but then you're getting that 1, like it's setting the values to 1, right? You are seeing these 1s up here. And so it is setting the values of certain tiles on the board. Okay, so what I need to do now to move the snake is I need each of the tiles to pick up the movement of the direction that's been left on it. I think when I what did I say? Add body here. Yeah, in fact, when I add the body, okay, and actually add body is a little more complicated. You're going to see in a bit. Add body gets a little more complicated depending on how we're moving beforehand. You know, we have to figure out where we're going to put it. But here's my add body, right? And so I'm adding this guy, and let me give myself the opportunity to set a direction. When I create this tile, right? I want to come back here and I want to say, you know what? How about this? How about I take an int direction and I'm gonna go int or this dot direction equals direction. Okay. So I'm going to give myself the opportunity to set a direction. So 3 parameters there. And so what direction am I going to use right here when I add body? I am going to use size depending on will this sort of universally work though if I'm adding okay. I'm going to take your overloaded constructor and add you one more. I'm going to make another add body constructor, which also takes direction. And then when I do that, I'm going to put the direction in here. How about that? And how about this? All my original snakes are going to be moving to the left. So in my constructor, when I make the original Or you could just say, well, I haven't set the direction yet here. So one of two things. I could set the direction of the head here. I could do that. And then say, how about I say the rest of my snakes all have the same direction as the head. All right. Okay. So now my and this is kind of like a goal too for me, was just to have the and we're kind of getting into a lot here. Yeah. So now the whole thing is moving. Okay. The whole thing is moving, but it's not moving because these things that followed it are picking up the direction of the head. So so I don't know. This has been a kind of a long video, 36 minutes long. Okay, so what I've done basically is I've set the initial direction to all of the tiles in the body to be one. Okay, that's the initial direction. And we also wrote a method to kind of update the direction for the tiles depending on the head landing on them, right? And I believe that is working. And we actually showed you how that was working because just the head was moving to begin with, right? So this is not complete at all. There's gonna be issues with what is there when you start to get directions going. But I do think this is a fairly good place to leave off on because it's taken you to a certain point, and now you've got to start to think about certain questions, and you should start to have a framework for what you're dealing with. You know, what's really there, and it really, to me, it's coming down to these tiles. You know, and how you can use the tiles and the attributes of the tiles, and then you can just kind of keep tweaking stuff. Adding fields, changing fields, overloading constructors, overloading methods, you know, to sort of, you know, customize the experience. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.